It's these three-dimensional looking video games where you're actually tangling with demons. And you may think it's a cartoon, but the demons don't care. Once they get your consent, they have you. So be careful.
By revenue, the gaming industry is bigger than both the movie industry and the music industry combined. And for the past several years, it hasn't been especially close. The difference is consistently more than $100 billion per year. So video games are a massive market, one that's mostly targeted at young people, of course. But despite those numbers, for the most part, the games industry has avoided mainstream scrutiny. You'll see far more discussion about, say, Sydney Sweeney or Taylor Swift than you'll ever see about prominent video game voice actors and directors who pretty much no one knows anything about. These no-name studios are behind the single most coordinated effort to indoctrinate millions of children through entertainment that's ever occurred in this country. This effort is maybe more powerful than the teachers' unions, if only because these propagandists mostly work in secret. Even if you homeschool your children, they're not immune to it.
Steam, developed by Valve Corporation, is the largest digital distribution platform for PC gaming, approximately 154 million monthly active users and 13.8 million daily active users. Rockstar Games sold more than 215 million copies of Grand Theft Auto V. As of July 2024, 77 million copies of Red Dead Redemption 2. Blizzard Entertainment's Diablo 4 generated $666 million in revenue within the first 5 days of its launch on June 6, 2023, making it Blizzard's fastest-selling game ever.
So you might be wondering, why do I start the video with all these stats on the gaming industry? Well, the truth of the matter is, the games released these days are no longer simple games like Super Mario anymore. Mafia, The Old Country, an action-adventure game developed by Hangar 13 is one such example. Take a look at some of what's taking place in the game.
To become a man of honor, repeat these words. I swear my loyalty to this family.
I swear my loyalty to this family.
My flesh must burn like this saint if I do not keep my oath.
My flesh must burn like this saint if I do not keep my oath.
Welcome, Enzo.
Benvenuto, Enzo.
And there's a feature in the game to be used by your character in the game, the two types of charms, medallions, and beads. And players can further upgrade their charm slots by upgrading their rosaries. And I'm telling all of you this because I know a lot of parents are watching the videos on this channel, and you might not be aware of what your kids are playing on their game consoles or PC.
Be careful what your kids are watching. If you have teenagers, you might want to have a chat with them and say, you know, some of these games they're not games at all. They're portals into hell, and you're inviting demons into our home. And there was actually a case where there was a teenager playing these dark games, and when he left the house at 22, the parents moved into his bedroom, and they had all sorts of manifestations happening. And it turns out it's from these games. And the boy had to have deliverance done over him and the house as a result. So just, you got to be careful. This is not, it's like, I guess the equivalent when we were kids was the Ouija board, but now it's these three-dimensional looking video games where you're actually tangling with demons. And you may think it's a cartoon, but the demons don't care. Once they get your consent, they have you. So be careful.
I'll get back to the points Father Rehill just made in that clip just now. I would also like to share you what type of messages that are considered a norm in these games, especially the AAA games. For those of you who do not know this, AAA games are high-budget, high-profile video games produced by major publishers and developers.
So tell me, what do you think about the Canadians? Canadians? The worst, the absolute worst, worse than the Mexicans. I cannot stand me some Canadians. At least the Mexicans have the civility, no, the common decency to look different.
You got a good point. I'll bear that in mind.
Not to mention, the same game also requires the players to torture someone in the game in order for the story to progress.
Let's get him upright.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
It was all a dream.
It's a nightmare.
And when people are worried about the Harry Potter books, perhaps you should also consider another point when it comes to Harry Potter. The game, Hogwarts Legacy, released in 2023, generated $1 billion in revenue in less than 3 months, and also was the best-selling video game of 2023 in the US.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As 5th years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect.
The problem that I have with the books is they try to depict evil as being, as witchcraft as being evil and then also good, right? So there's the good witchcraft, and then there's the bad witchcraft. That's not true. That's a lie. There is no good witchcraft because you're tapping into the demonic. So I don't want kids thinking they can try to, ask these spirits to come help them when that's not the only good spirit is the Holy Spirit. Okay. And these demonic spirits are not good. So that's my first issue with it. The second one is in each book, it progresses darker and darker into this. It's almost like they're glorifying the darkness. Mm-hmm. Also not good, right? We glorify God. That's the only one we give our glory to. And finally, several of the spells in those books were real spells. They weren't just made up. They were actual old spells that she had put into the book. So you could be invoking harm by saying these spells. It's like when we make the sign of the cross, we're asking the Trinity to be present with us, right? We're invoking him. The demons do the same thing.
Although Father Rehill is specifically referring to the books, perhaps parents out there should also start looking at the Harry Potter games as well. Because $1 billion is no small amount of money, it means a lot of people played the game since its release. Now going back to the point Father Rehill made earlier.
And you may think it's a cartoon, but the demons don't care. Once they get your consent, they have you. So be careful.
So let's see the horror game genre this time. This is Mateus Lennart, the director behind the Silent Hill 2 remake. The thing with horror games, the players would want to have a very scary, immersive experience. The environment, the sound. And it's not hard to reflect on what Father Rehill said in that clip just now. In fact, the sound plays a huge role in the horror game development.
Right? So, yeah. And the sound is if not more than 50% of the atmosphere of the horror game. So yeah, many times we are hearing that in the middle of production that something needs to be for example, more scary, but at the same time you need to remember that there are not all elements here still. So we need to wait for a second, and they spice it up if needed at the end.
And while Silent Hill is a AAA game, more indie-developed horror games are available on Steam, and these games are even more immersed in the whole occult, demons, all that scary stuff in the games. And don't worry, I'm not including any of the scary encounter in these games with you in this video, but just take a look at how realistic some of these games are compared to 20 years ago. And the fact that these games, the one I'm showing you now, are built with Unreal Engine 5, which is a tool that helps make video games with amazing graphics and smooth gameplay. For the game developers, this will enable them to create super detailed and creepy environments, like dark forests or haunted houses, that look almost real. Its lighting system makes shadows and dim lights feel eerie, perfect for jump scares or tense moments. It ensures the game runs well, so scares hit at the right time without glitches. And also it gives developers tools to build creepy stuff faster, like monsters or foggy scenes. So why am I sharing with you all these details about Unreal Engine 5? Well, it goes back to what Father Rehill said earlier. And as I said, I know a lot of parents are here, watching the videos. So I hope this will give you a rough idea, at least, of how different the games are today, and the fact that they're mostly targeting the younger audience. I think it's even more important to let these truths out there.
Teddy! Come here, boy! into him. Teddy! Teddy, come on now! Teddy, for f***'s sake.
We often talk about Hollywood, the movies and music industry, but rarely do we see anyone covering the demonic side of gaming. And I shared you that stat, how many users are registered on Steam, the hugely popular gaming platform, earlier for this simple reason. Even indie-developed games look 1,000 times much better than the games back in the 90s and early 2000s. And this is also aided by the growth in game streaming scene, especially on Twitch. The global game streaming market was valued at $8.2 billion in 2024, and is projected to reach $17.3 billion by 2032, with a compound annual growth rate of 9.8%. And in this game streaming scene, there's a lot of dedicated streamers and content creators that are only focusing on playing horror games. With popular streamers usually have hundreds of thousands and millions of views when they're playing these horror games.
Little rain action, that's cozy. 23:59, that means it's midnight, by the way, in case y'all couldn't read that. Bro sleeping with pants and a shirt on top of the covers. Yo, you gonna wake up somebody knocking at the door? Who is that?
So to wrap this up, let me share with you just one more game here that's disturbing, and to pretty much give you an idea how the demonic, satanic elements are pretty much part of the game development these days.
So, here's a few tips on how to start your very first cult. Step 1. Grow your flock. Go crusading into the lands of the old faith to find new followers and defeat the false prophets. Back home, indoctrinate your new followers into the cult.
You know the disturbing part of all these? That they're using cute characters in games like this, so it's easy for people to think the messages spread through these games are innocent and nothing to worry about.
Power from your followers by giving daily sermons and watch their faith grow. Step 3. Cleanse the non-believers. Unhappy followers will rise against you and try to persuade the others to leave the cult. Will you gently re-educate them in the ways of the Lamb, or perform dark rituals and sacrifice them to the gods?
Well, I hope this relatively short video is helpful to bring light into this whole problem that I feel not often talked about. We talk a lot about Hollywood, the movies, the music, but not enough on the gaming industry. Anyway, that's all from me this time. I hope you have learned something useful, especially the parents. I'll always try to improve how I deliver these information from time to time, and I'm sorry there are so many weaknesses in my videos. If you feel like supporting the works here, please consider supporting us on Patreon or making a donation to PayPal, because I'm trying to reduce the reliance on the ads in the videos. But if you can't, still I want to thank all of you for your continuous support, contributions, and prayers. Much love to all of you, and may God bless you.